Very good morning to our listeners. Hope you all had a great evening. A quick look around the markets. In comparative to the volatility on Monday and Tuesday's session, things are a little bit more quiet, mainly owing to the fact that we have a light economic calendar out of the UK, Europe and the US today. A couple of things though to pay note. We have had a real lack of new updates on the political scene out of Italy and Spain, and as such those 10-year government bond yield spreads do trade marginally tighter, around 5 to 6 basis points. Elsewhere, we look out now for a bubble auction out of the Bundesbank shortly, and the DOE oil inventories are due later on in the US session. There are some comments out of Fitch that are worth touching upon. For the UK, they said they'll review the country's AAA rating after the UK budget scheduled in March. But keep in mind, this is a regular practice for the rating agencies, who generally review that 48 hours after the budget is released. Keep in mind, Fitch has at the moment the UK on AAA outlook negative. And they also commented, Fitch, on the US and said that their rating, the AAA level, could be cut if there was no decent consolidation programme put forward for this year. They are currently still on negative outlook as well. Neither comments, though, having much of a reaction in the various asset classes, as both are more of a reiteration of the points that they've said before. One pertinent move, though, we have seen overnight in Asia to be aware of is that of the Japanese markets. The Nikkei 225 finished the session with gains of 3.77% overnight, close to a 4.5-year high, chiefly underpinned by the fact that we heard yesterday that Shirakawa, the current Bank of Japan governor, is to step down earlier than anticipated on March 19th. Many have been thinking that the LDP will look to push forward and appoint a new governor who fits in turn with their policy thinking as a political party of that of bold monetary easing, and as such the yen did continue to weaken overnight as we saw on Tuesday's session. Looking forward then, things pretty quiet on the calendar as mentioned. Much of the attention here in Europe turns toward the Bank of England and the ECB tomorrow. Turn to the Bank of England, keep in mind that Mark Carney, the forthcoming Bank of England governor, which will come into power in July of this year, he is speaking ahead of the rate decision itself to the Treasury Select Committee, many eyeing his comments very closely for indications he may give to his thinking on policy going forward. And for the ECB, given the fact that we've seen these first numbers now through those 3-year LTRO repayments, that will undoubtedly be a main questioning point for Draghi in the press conference, and definitely one to watch. That pretty much concludes the opening wrap for me here in London, so I wish you all a great trading day and we'll speak to you tomorrow.